Okay, friends, today we're going to talk about friends, the third element of our 4 legendary relationship elements. And friends is just that. You know, after you creating a happy, healthy you, and then getting the partners element in lockstep, getting those systems working and all of the basics covered, yeah, we can start enjoying each other again. You know, we can start being buddies, you know, we can be best friends, we can learn about each other, we can like being around each other, create joy, and
have fun.
Have fun. For crying out loud, have fun together, right?
Try that.
Try that. So within the friends element, there are 4 principles, right? And the first one is deep knowing. And this is from John Gottman in his 7 principles for making marriage work. He says that, you know, happy marriages are based on a deep friendship. And he talks about deep knowing and being part of cultivating that friendship.
And John Gottman is the godfather of marriage.
Yeah, I mean,
this
like...
space. Yeah, all of us that are out there helping to guide couples, you know, to happiness.
If we're
have read John Gottman.
And if we're not sharing about John Gottman, then we're doing a disservice to the people that we're trying to help.
Right, yeah.
So deep knowing is really just that. It's really learning, knowing, understanding, hearing all of the things and listening to your partner, really getting to truly get to know them. I mean, it sounds silly and simple enough, but I think the challenge in a lot of relationships and marriages is really taking the steps to truly get to know your partner. At least that was true for us, right? I mean...
And I think we did a good job when we were first dating. You know, like we did. And we were getting to know each other, and it was exciting to get to know each other because it was all new, and there was the, you know, chemical thing that was going on. Where
I can't decide to want to marry you unless I actually feel like I know you on some level.
Right, exactly. But for us, you know, the moment we had kids, the getting to continue to know each other, you know, because we were in our 30s at that point, and it's like we have 30 years of getting to know each other that, you know, we were just like diving into, and now we have children and we're so busy and it wasn't happening. And so we had to rewind a little bit.
Well, we also change over time too.
Oh, that's such a good point. Yeah, there is that.
So there's this constant, you know, evolution, relearning, knowing what lights us up. You know, the things that light you up today,
very different
from what lit you up 10 years ago. And yet I know that all about you now because I deeply know you and I listen to you.
Exactly. But I have to say though, like, looking back at some of the date nights that we had on focusing on our friendship element, where we really tried to get to know each other again, learning about when you were little, like I think about, you know, your record obsession and the times that, you know, you would tell me about things that you were really into, or challenges that you had, or friends that you had growing up. Like, I know that learning those things about you connected me to you more.
Yeah.
You know, to who you are, regardless of it being like something that's present or not, which I think that was a really great point because we evolve.
We do.
Yeah.
So
hopefully.
We grow. The second principle in the friends element is quality time, which is one of the love languages, but, you know, it is greatly important that the two of you spend quality time together. And quality, what is quality time? It's present, you know, it's very focused. It's not this sitting next to each other. I mean, it's okay to sit next to each other on the couch, let's say, and watch something that you enjoy together.
Or sit on the couch next to each other and be on your phones.
Right.
Like, that's okay, but let's not call that our quality time together.
Right.
Yeah, so yes, that's okay as long as you're still having quality time together. Because what happens a lot in relationships in this day and age is that, you know, the evening is done and either the kids are in bed or the kids are doing something else, and our time together is watching TV where we're both focusing on something that is not leaning into each other. Right? And so either that or that's the phones. And the phones are designed to distract us from all things. And so, yes, that's okay. Like, we're not against phones, we're not against TV, but as long as you have time scheduled that's quality with the two of you to move your relationship forward, to continue to connect your relationship.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the third principle is fun. Fun. So,
Hard one for me.
You know,
Easier for him.
yeah, you know, it's important to have fun together, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
I think oftentimes in relationships, especially when ours wasn't great, we weren't focusing on each other, and from that there wasn't any fun being generated. We weren't enjoying
Zero.
each other. You know, if you
Yeah.
think about, you know, when we first started you first get together, we're doing a lot of things and having fun and doing all this stuff together, and then somewhere along the way we kind of
Kids. It was kids.
Right, it's kids. You stop doing that. And so what's important is that your dates or whatever else you're doing to create that fun, it does have to be much more intentional, right? It has to be maybe scheduled, calendar, whatever it is, you know, it just has to be placed there. Without it, it doesn't come as easy, I guess, is the point I'm trying to make.
And
right?
I think we have to say this as couples with children, right? We are couples with kids. It has to be scheduled. And yes, we can say it should just be intentional. She should just want to do that. He should just want to do that. The reality is that once we have money coming in, money going out, kids, a house to take care of, all of these things, we're the first ones to get squeezed out of the calendar.
Right.
So if we don't intentionally write ourselves into the calendar, write our relationship into the calendar, it doesn't happen. So I think that's the caveat across the board with all of the things and all of the element is that yes, you be a nerd or whatever it is to put it in your calendar, and if being a nerd means that you have a better relationship, nerd it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so the fourth principle in the friends element is presence, which we talked a little bit about this in the quality time piece, but presence is just very vital to creating that friends, you know, connection. It's that 100% focused on each other, putting the phones down, you know, engaging in conversation and just being in the moment, you know, in the now with each other.
The thing that comes up for me on this one is the couples that want more intimacy in their lives. You know, our next element that we're going to talk about is the lover's element, and you know, that's where this stuff comes into play. And we want to jump there. We want to have that lily pad, just kind of like skip over all the other lily pads right onto the lover's lily pad, and being present with your partner and creating that connection, that intentional connection, is what gets you there.
Right.
You know, it's the first step to being able to.
You bring up a really good point here because, you know, if we create that presence, especially when we're not feeling the pressure of the intimacy per se, it helps build that in a way that when we finally have to be vulnerable and really engage in that conversation around sex and that intimacy, it's a lot easier, really, because we've cultivated this friendly sort of, you know,
Safe
knowing,
space.
Safe environment with each other as friends.
Yeah.
And then it helps us to springboard into that deep, intimate connection. On.
It's foundational, and in order for that lover's element to be able to consistently be flourishing, this element and the previous have to have attention.